Hi friends, welcome to My 10 Cent. In this video, we will talk about 3 things about fixed deposits that many of the investors do not know. The first part, how safe are your fixed deposits? All of us assume that money kept in fixed deposit is 100% safe. Is that true? What happens if your bank goes bankrupt? In case if any of you are wondering, do banks go bankrupt? Just please go to Google and type out bankruptcy in India and you will see the number of cases where banks have got into trouble, especially cooperative banks. So if you have money kept in the form of fixed deposits in cooperative banks, you must definitely listen to what I have to say next. If your bank goes bankrupt, there is a corporation called Deposit and Credit Guarantee Corporation, DCGC. They step in and take care of your deposits. Basically, every deposit kept with a bank is insured by DCGC. But they insure only up to 5 lakhs. Up to 5 lakhs per person per bank. So if you have an account with a cooperative bank and you have fixed deposits also with them, then everything put together, that is your amount in the savings account, the interest that savings account, the amount on the savings account should give to you, the fixed deposit and the interest, everything put together, maximum up to 5 lakhs. If, for example, your interest is and the amounts put together is more than 5 lakhs, they will only pay you 5 lakhs. If you're 50 lakhs, you can potentially lose a 45 lakhs unless somebody steps in and takes over that bank. Like when Yes Bank got into trouble, State Bank of India stepped in. When Lakshmi Vilas Bank got into trouble, DBS came and merged it. But if you see the cooperative space, there have been plenty of problems and a lot of investors have suffered. So if you're keeping money with in the form of fixed deposit with any bank, please remember 5 lakhs. That is the only what is covered by the government or DCGC. This is on a per bank basis. So if you have deposits kept with 5 banks, totaling let's say 20 lakhs, and each of those deposits are not more than 5 lakhs, then you largely have covered within the 5 lakhs all the deposits that you have with all the 4 banks. But instead of 4 lakhs into 5 banks, you have kept 15 lakhs in one bank and 5 lakhs in the second bank, then the total coverage you will get under DCGC will be restricted to only 10 lakhs. The remaining 10 lakhs is at risk because it's per bank per person. So the first point you need to remember, fixed deposits kept with banks are not 100% safe. The second question, are fixed deposits the best way to keep money? See, why do we invest? Why do we keep a deposit? Why do we invest in debt mutual fund? Why do we invest in stock markets? We invest so that our money grows. That is common sense. You may be wondering, why am I telling that? Everybody knows that. It's not just growing the money. It's growing with respect to what? We all know something called as inflation. Okay, for those who do not know inflation, at least he will know that every year the cost of the items are increasing. That is inflation, where every year the cost of the goods you purchase increase. Why inflation happens, what is the reason, all of that is subject for another video. I will not cover that here. So every year the cost of goods is increasing. If last year you could live on 5 lakh rupees a year, this year you will probably need 6 lakh or 5.5 lakh rupees. So the real purpose of our investment is to ensure the money that we invest increases more than the increase in the cost of the goods. So that at all points of time, I have enough money in my hand to lead my life comfortably. The purchasing power of the money is protected. This is called purchasing power. This is why we invest. Most of the people invest in fixed deposits only looking at 6, 7, 5, 7% return and say that 5, 6% is very good. I'm getting 6% every year. But rarely do people look at inflation. Let us consider 2022 for example. In 2022, with all the Russia-Ukraine crisis and everything, inflation has gone to some 7% so. 6% comfortably, 6 to 7%. Most of your fixed deposits are in the 5% zone. So technically speaking, every year, if that rate were to continue for the next 10 years, it will not. But I'm saying if it continues, every year you're losing 1% of your money. 1% of your money because you're only getting 5% from deposits and the costs are increasing by 6 to 7%, right? So the question, coming back to the question, are fixed deposits the best way to keep money? Do fixed deposits give enough return over and above inflation to you? is the most important question you should ask when you put money in fixed deposits. At my 10 cent, we did an analysis. We went from 1990 to 2001 and we drew a chart that you can see. We found that on an average, there will be some years when fixed deposits will give you much higher return than inflation, some years it will be lower. But on an average, fixed deposits has given 1 to 1.5% higher return than inflation, which if you personally ask me is okay. I wouldn't say it's good, I wouldn't say it is bad. If you are aged, retiree, want safety of money, you don't have stomach for risk, then fixed deposits is reasonable up to, because it is giving you 1.5% higher return than inflation. But there is a caveat, there is an exception. This assumes on a zero tax basis. But we all know that on fixed deposits, you have to pay income tax on the income from interest income every year, depending on what your income tax slab is. So if you are a person who is not getting more than 5 lakh of interest income from fixed deposits and assuming you have no other income, then this is true to you, because up to 5 lakhs you don't pay any income tax, so you will get 1.5% over and above the inflation rate. But if, for example, you are someone who's sitting in the 25, 30, 35% tax slab where you have other income, or the fixed deposits it's so large that you're getting so much of interest income for you, then this 1.5% rule does not apply, because once you deduct the tax on the interest income, the returns from fixed deposits go well below inflation. So if you are thinking of keeping some 50, 75 lakhs in the form of fixed deposits or 1 crore or whatnot, then there is a good chance that your returns from fixed deposits will not meet inflation. In this case, fixed deposit may technically be safer, but definitely not the best way to invest. So when you think about fixed deposits, think about inflation. And remember this number, 1 to 1.5% per annum on a long-term basis over and above inflation is what fixed deposits give, assuming you don't pay tax on it. If you pay tax on it, then these returns are not good. The last point. We've seen the safety of fixed deposits. We've seen how they stack up in terms of inflation. How much wealth should you keep in fixed deposits, assuming that? Right. When you compare fixed deposits with debt mutual fund, I always have this debate, fixed deposit or debt mutual fund. Both of them rank largely same on safety, provided you invest in the right debt mutual fund, and that we have covered in a separate video. On a like-to-like basis, debt mutual fund and fixed deposits are largely can be put in the same risk profile. You can find enough debt mutual funds which are almost as safe as fixed deposits. Generally speaking, these debt mutual funds give equal to or slightly better return than fixed deposits. Not very different, but largely in the maybe fixed deposits plus 0.5 or in that same zone. But where debt mutual funds make a difference is the tax. In debt mutual fund, unlike fixed deposits, you don't have to pay tax on a yearly basis. You have to pay tax only when you sell the units. In fixed deposits, you have to pay tax every year on the interest income. Okay. In debt mutual funds, you don't have to do it. Second, in fixed deposit, the interest income is added to your taxable income. You have to pay tax as per that. You get no benefits. Whereas in debt mutual fund, you get an indexation benefit. Now, in case you don't know what indexation benefit, you're wondering, please go to my 10 cent website. We have put an article on that. The link is there for you to access in the description. Okay. You get an indexation benefit. Now, for this purpose, those who do not know about indexation benefit, all you need to remember is in fixed deposit, if you will pay tax on the interest income, in debt mutual fund, after adjusting for this indexation benefit, your tax will be roughly in the 10% zone, which means at best you will pay 10% or thereabout only of tax. Once you adjust for this tax, especially if you are sitting in the higher income tax bracket, fixed deposits cannot match debt mutual funds. Debt mutual funds will outrun fixed deposit hands down. So the third question, how much should you keep in fixed deposit? You should keep only that much amount in fixed deposits, which is within your income tax slab of up to 5 lakhs. I.e., what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're getting interest income more than 3 to 4 lakhs per year, then do not put beyond that in fixed deposits. And also, remember, DCGC only covers for up to 5 lakhs. So per bank fixed deposit limit, ideally you should keep 5 lakhs. If you want to go for higher amount, then go for the largest banks in the country, which are generally the safest. That is State Bank of India, HDFC Bank, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda. I cannot imagine a scenario where these 3 or 4 banks that I've listed ever going bankrupt. So that's all for now. As a fixed deposit investor, if you are serious about investing in fixed deposit, you should know these 3 things: how much is covered, how much is insured, how they cover a return over inflation, and how much amount you should deploy in fixed deposit. That's all for now. I hope you've learned something new. Please like our video. Please subscribe to our channel. You can also visit our website my10cent.com, where we have an article on fixed deposit. I hope you'll enjoy it. And that's it for now. Bye-bye.